Hello, folks. Oh, heck. I want to jump over.
Yeah. I don't got the beer, Jay. I'm going to watch.
Okay. I should have done this on Google Chrome because it makes a wider screen. I forgot Opera makes it like, meh. All right. Hello, folks. This is the release party for this is the second release party for Budweiser Copper Lager because John and Neely did it over a week ago. But this is the release party on my channel. My audio sounds okay, John?
Sounds great. Yep.
Do me a favor.
Yeah,
you can copy the link with the Craft Beer Review Guild. I couldn't get it, the link to copy. Got a little smoke here. Jean-Pierre, if you could share the link with Beer Talk 2018, that would help me out. I was unable to get the link to copy.
Yeah, I don't actually have the link. I just have, like, it just showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Like you called me. There's not an actual link posted in the chat, so.
Try it again. Yeah, it just won't copy. Can't figure it out. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I don't think that many people are going to join anyway. I can, if they contact you and they want to join, I'll invite them. Okay.
All right.
I'll post a link because it won't copy. I should have done this on Google Chrome. Here we go. Budweiser Copper Lager. It looks copper. It has a thick off-white head. It's not as cold as I wanted it, but it's it'll do all right. I'll do the English style way of drinking. 6.2% alcohol. Malt liquor. Always malt liquor. It's a malt liquor because it's above 5%. It's a strong beer. I just watched a kind of a secret wholesaler video about it. They were so excited back in April when they started talking about putting this out. It's the official release is September, okay? But here we are, and you got yours on August 8th, no 10th. 8 days ago, you did your video. Okay, so let's go with the aroma. All right, you still got one, right? All right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Now, the folks might remember the Budweiser Freedom Prohibition Repeal Reserve 1933. Put it in this little natural light style classic bottle, embossed bottle. And then they came out with the Freedom Reserve, which they're going to put on the back burner for now because they want to go full in on promoting this Jim Beam Budweiser. I will read the comments, but let me get some. What's
the ABV, Jay? What's the ABV on it on that beer?
6.2.
Okay, that's.
I'm getting some sweet malts, maybe some vanilla, maybe some bourbon barrel, but not really. It's similar to the Busch Signature Copper Lager, right? Hey, this one is more copper. That one might have been more brown. Let's see. Got some pretty good bubbles in this beer. Look, you know why I got this beer today? I used all of my Anheuser-Busch connections to get it.
Yeah, you got the connection. I don't. The Hitcher connection doesn't got it.
You see this shirt? You see this hat, this cap? Well, in other words, I went to Rouse's and I happened to see it for $7.59. That was my connection. I went to Rouse's to get some other stuff, and I turned and I said, "Okay, here we go."
Was that for the 6-pack?
6-pack, $7.59.
That's not bad. That's not bad for Budweiser product. That's pretty good.
They say they're pricing it at the Michelob Ultra level. Well, that's cheaper than Michelob Ultra, let me tell you. Now,
a lot cheaper.
All right, moment of truth. That's some rich toasted barley malt. Probably they have some rice adjunct. Now we're getting the bourbon barrel staves. Because they don't put it in bourbon barrels. They take the bourbon barrels, chop them up, and put the barrel wood in the beer agent tank. Maybe it's corn I'm picking up. All right.
John, you got one too?
Oh yeah, I bought a 12-pack over about a week ago and been sitting on it for a while.
Little bit of wood,
yeah,
a bit of vanilla, little hop bitterness going on there to bounce it out. Don't know the 17 at the most, but I doubt it. What would the body be? High, medium, going toward heavy, and it's a medium dry finish, I guess. Well, John and Neely, you gave it a 94 initially.
Right. I mean, as I've been drinking down the 12-pack, I mean, I think it's still in the A range. I may have given it a little higher than because of all the excitement than what I probably should have. But I think it's I think it's an A- because I personally would like to see more barrel presence, and I know it's aged on the staves, and probably not for too long because this collaboration, you said back in April is when they started talking about it, so it probably wasn't aged for too long. I think if maybe they spent a little bit more time aging it, and maybe if they did it in the actual barrels, it would be even better. But it's still I still think it's a pretty great limited time release and a really cool collaboration. So.
Okay,
well, gentlemen,
it's going to be sold in. Hold on, John. It says it's going to be sold in 12-ounce bottles, 6 and 12 packs, and on draft. I like to try to draft. Now, they said they're just going to like promote it to the hilt, which is the opposite of what they did with Busch Signature Copper Lager, which they did run a commercial once. Seemed like. They did nothing to promote it. This one has a nice creamy head. Look at that head retention. Oh yeah. Jean, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, sorry guys, I was gonna say, and I'm sure y'all gonna bring this up later, but why just release it? I mean, it obviously it has great appeal. Why not? Yeah. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, just mute it. I said this years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I said, well, wait a minute. I think Budweiser Anheuser-Busch listens in on my conversation because I said, well, everybody's doing barrel-aged beers. Why don't they make a barrel-aged Budweiser? And then some people busted out laughing when I said that. I said, well, why not? I mean, everybody else does it. So I said it. Obviously, they heard me talking, and so they said, let's go with the world, the #1 bourbon whiskey, and let's collaborate. So a guy from Brazil called a guy from Japan, and ta-da. All right, now, comments. Gabriel says, hi. Hey, Gabe. Extreme Cheddar says, the first review I ever saw you do was the Busch Copper Lager, so I'm very excited for this one. Thank you. Alex, the beer master, says, hey, Ron, how's your weekend so far? Well, I got a door replaced. Cost me $245, but the guy looked like he did it right. He knows what he's doing. I went to New Orleans and went to Mass at 4 o'clock at St. Peter Claver Church, which I've never been to before. And that was mostly good. That was very interesting. And then I drove back home and I went to Martin Wine Cellar and bought some stuff like Spaten Optimator and an Oktoberfest beer. But on the way to church, I stopped at Rouse's and I said, oh, let me get the Optimator. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Optimator I bought at Rouse's. What did I buy at Martin Wine Cellar? I bought the Bell's double IPA. And then I before and I bought that Spaten, and that's when I saw the Budweiser. I said, woof. And I went to Mass, and I had it in my car, and when I was driving back home, I said, heck, I'll do a release party. Why not? So John and Neely, cheers to you.
Cheers. I'm glad you found it. We're getting the early bird special. Not too many people can get it yet.
I know. Did they release these on a limited supply in certain locations? I'm wondering if I could pick up a 12 tonight, says Extreme Cheddar. And JJ Villa says, the beer sounds good. I'll look for it. It is good. It's got a lot richer toasted malt flavor than like a 6% Cobra or a Hurricane 6%. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I think the alcohol too at 6.2% is masked very well with this one.
Yeah, you don't pick up any wood. You're not gonna drink King Cobra and pick up wood or char or vanilla or toasted stuff like that. But this one does have a little cornbread something. I don't know. And you might get that with those, but
there was something when I reviewed it, I couldn't quite place it, and maybe you can help me out with this, but on the label it does say that you can pick up some rye. Are you getting any rye with yours?
Let's see about that.
It says rye and vanilla notes and a smooth finish.
I wonder why when I get on Opera, it won't open my screen up as much. That's really strange. Oh, well.
That is odd.
Because I noticed that when I did some other Opera Hangouts, I'm like, what the heck? Why do I have these black bars? And then when I went back on Google Chrome, well, full screen. So I don't know. Anyway, these videos are like a radio show more than people know what I look like. And they know this office. So it's like, oh, I'm sorry you can't see more comic book boxes. It's like, okay, you don't get to see cardboard. And I'm sorry you don't get to see a wall with a plate on it. All right, those plates people buy, those collector plates. Mm-hmm. That's California. All right. Well, maybe, but it's like I always say when I do the reviews, if you hadn't said it, I would have never mentioned it because I never would have thought of it,
Right.
I think it's really good. I mean, it would be better if I had it dead cold, but still just somewhat chilled. It's coming across nice. I put it in the freezer and went to take a bath and all, and I am missing the baseball game because a Louisiana guy's pitching today. Not Aaron Nola, but Wade Miley. He's doing well this year for the Milwaukee on Fox Sports 1, so I do want to go watch that. But I figured let me put on the Budweiser cap, the shirt. That way the people can say, you see, he's in cahoots with them. But
hey, I'm sorry about that. I was going to say, after I got my beloved wife called me, why don't they release all the beers? Just release the 1933 repeal, release the Freedom Lager, and release this one. I mean, I haven't tried this one yet, but I've tried the other two, which I thought were phenomenal. And particularly the 1933 repeal, it'll show America, hey, folks, Budweiser does make good beer,
They said I'm looking at your message on Facebook. You're not only watching now, you're on it now. I'm going to type that. You're actually on it.
Yep. How can it be?
On it.
What they're doing with the limited release, because I think it creates a lot of hype. I think a lot of people are going out and buying these products, and unlike the Busch Signature Copper Lager, which was a great product, which they did no marketing for, I mean, that was dead in the water after a few months. These type of products,
they probably learned from that.
I'm sorry, what? Oh. But yeah, they're heavily marketed. They're rotating them nicely, and I mean, they might put this back out again next year around the same time. I mean, they've got 3 different limited releases now. They need 1 more, and then they can have a seasonal brew and release 4 different beers every year if that's something they want to do. But I kind of like the way they're doing it because it's creating a lot of hype and a lot of people. I think it's great for the company. A lot of people are going out and seeking out these beers. So
yeah, they want to focus on one at a time, and there's a lot of potential. You know, like you said, you can just keep. They started this years ago now, like 6 years ago, with their Budweiser, the Brewers Project. Remember? So then they came out with the Black Crown, which that didn't go over too well, although I did like it. I'd like to see a comeback. But that was a start. And then they made the second Brewers Project, which just like disappeared almost immediately. And I was able to get a 12-pack, but no one else could get it. And it might have lasted a month. And then something happened, and you couldn't even find it on the website. They just killed it. Then all of a sudden, I got some alert, let's call it. I got this alert, and I said, what is this? And I said, ooh, copper lager, Busch Signature. So I was telling everybody, there's something coming. It's called Busch Signature Copper Lager. And then there it came. Great beer, best beer they made in probably what, ever? But they did nothing to promote it. And what happened to it? It went,
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but you know, I liked it, and when I decided to go ahead and do a review of it, I looked around. It was very scarce, so I looked at one service station, and I bought it. And then, unfortunately, I didn't check the date. I wish I did now, because it probably wasn't out date. Because again, that product was doing well, and all of a sudden it just disappeared. But I bought a 25-ounce can of it and I did a review of it. But you know, that was a good beer that unfortunately they just chose not to push and, you know, promote.
It died, yeah. Alex, the beer master, says, hey, Ron, when you're doing your review, you should get a TV in your office so you don't miss any of your shows when you're talking to people on YouTube. Well, that would be kind of rude, you know, be saying, oh, hello, here I am to talk to you, but I'm watching the game because you're not as important as you ought to be. No, I mean, you know, if I want to watch the game, I should watch the game and not do a video. And I'm not going to be on here too long. I'll see other people doing those kind of hangouts. They like talking and they're doing something on the computer and they're looking at something. And it's like, okay, well, how about me? I'm supposed to be the viewer, but that's okay. I think it's great. Now, I'm going to give it a solid A. I'm going to say like 94, 95. It's a most excellent beer. It's a winner like the Copper Lager. Another problem with that was that it was Busch, right? People say Busch, that's a cheap beer, and they probably wouldn't buy it. You know, they got that stigma, and people are not too open-minded, right? So they
right. If they released it as the Budweiser Copper Lager from the get-go, it would probably still be around, because Busch is perceived as a inferior product from the AB InBev line, which is unfortunate because it was not an inferior product.
no.
Anheuser-Busch Natural. Let me get Anheuser-Busch Natural. Like, don't have to say Anheuser-Busch Natural. Just say natural.
I remember that. Hey, okay, so the Prohibition.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it when I see it. Hopefully it'll be around in our area soon, in the Mobile area. So.
Yeah, 1933 Repeal Reserve was very good. That was 6.1, so that was a good malt liquor. Always malt liquor. And then they retired it because they wanted to come out with number 2, which was the current one that most of y'all can get, the Red Lager 5.4.
The Freedom Reserve, right?
Just selling. They say it's selling like crazy, and I know a store that got it cheap. You know, they got 12 packs for $9.99. 12 packs for $9.99, sir.
Yeah.
I might go buy one of those 12 packs for $9.99. You know what I mean? All right.
Well, And if I know that the Freedom Reserve is on for a 12-pack, I think it's going for about what, $8 or $9 in my area. So I'm kind of hesitant about getting it.
That's not bad. And then here we got the copper lager, aged on real barrel staves. It's not aged in a barrel, so it's not barrel aged. They don't claim it's barrel aged. I think they ought to make a Budweiser barrel aged, to tell you the truth. But I don't run the company. And I mean, they'd have to sell it for more money, you know. But I think it's a winner. It's kind of like what Innocent Gun does. They don't. All their stuff is not barrel aged. It's aged with barrels. The staves, you know. The barrel was Dynamite. The Innocent Gun bourbon barrel was Dynamite. I don't know if you watched those reviews.
The Abita bourbon barrel aged stout, that was good.
Oh, I had the porter. I had the rum. What was it? A rum aged porter. Oh, that was just woo. And then I had the bourbon barrel aged red beer. It's called red. I can't remember.
Sky, I think, or
Blood Red Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing was just, that was good. Okay, let's see. Alex says, well, hey, Ron, it was nice talking to you. So I hope you have a wonderful night and a wonderful rest of your weekend. You too, Alex. I'm not going to be up too late. I'll lay down last night after I hang out for Carlo Rossi Rhine. And I said, I'm going to lay down and watch this Texas Rangers game.
Yeah, I was looking for that wine today. I couldn't find it.
What?
I was saying that I could not find that wine today, the Colorado Rhine. I was looking. Went to 2 stores, didn't get it, but I did get me a bottle of wine from Flip Flop.
Yeah, but hold on. Colorado has a locator tool. Why didn't you use too much noise?
I don't know.
Why didn't you use their locator tool?
I didn't know why. I was just like, okay, I'm running around doing some errands. Okay, so let me stop at this British Cash Saver, and I saw this other store. Didn't see it, and I'm like, darn.
So I lay down in bed, and I'm telling you right now, at 2:30, I turned off the TV and I went to sleep. Not at 2:30. What am I saying? 7:30. I woke up at 2:30. This morning I got up at 2:30. True story.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of insane. Now I woke up at 1 o'clock to use the bathroom. I couldn't go back to sleep. And then all of a sudden I started dreaming. And I dreamed that these drug addicts were breaking into my shed and stealing all my tools so they could sell them. And I opened the shed. At least I was glad I dreamed, because that means I was sleeping, right? I did fall back to sleep, and I woke up at 2. I did get up out of bed at 2:30, exactly 2:30 this morning. But in my dream, I was like walking in my backyard, and there was this guy that built this nice house next door to me, like this really nice house. This guy named Robbie, like big, and he was having a big party at his house during the day. So I went to open my shed door, and these 2 white guys are standing in the shed. And I looked at them, and they said, they're holding stuff in this that was obviously taken out of the shed. And they said, oh, hey, we were just looking around. I said, you were looking around, huh? Yeah, all right, dude. You good. It's good. It's all good. It's all good. And I'm like, no, it's not all good. And they dropped the stuff, went next door, and I said, your little drug addict friends, clean. I said, and then I looked around the shed. Everything was gone. Lawnmower, all the tools. And I went over next door, and they were having the party, and I said, your little drug addict friends cleaned my shed out. My lawnmower, they stole all my tools so they could go buy their drugs. I said, and I'm mad, you know. And he tells me, you need to chill out. You get too upset about things. And I said, what? And then I woke up, and I realized it was a dream. Crazy dream, huh?
Very crazy. But you thought that it's not. Wow, I thought it was.
Wait. Back up. You're breaking up. Say that again.
You know, when you have these dreams and you realize, that it was all that, a dream, and you wake up and like, wow. I mean, it seemed like it was real, but it's not, you know?
Oh, yeah, it seemed real because I went over to his house and they were having a party and they were all like, oh, man, you need to chill out. Have a good time. I'm like, how the hell can I chill out? You're stealing tools out of my shed so you can go pawn them off, you bunch of drug addicts. And then he laughed it off like, oh, it's no big deal. Just forget about it. I'm like, are these people insane? Well, it was a dream, you know. And I was thinking in my dream, I said, look, I got this problem on this side of my house. I don't know what his problem is. And then I got these low lifes living over here. But I mean, I really don't have people like that living over there. It's not even the same house design. But I don't know. In my dream, I just had this bizarre. I don't, and even the street wasn't the same. It was like a cul-de-sac. I don't live on a cul-de-sac. I don't know why. I don't know. It's bizarre. I have very detailed dreams. Sometimes I dream things and they come true, but I don't want to get into that. All right.
So with the beer guys, you think that Anheuser-Busch InBev will, I guess this will kind of be their thing, make this a seasonal thing each different month.
Right.
Releasing it all all at once, I guess.
I was telling y'all like a year and a half ago, I said, I think that's what they're going to do. Like every 4 months, they'll come out with a new version of this. And then they'll go for a little while, and then they'll come out with another one, and then they'll come out with another one, right?
Right.
That'll be more fun for us, won't it?
Yeah. What was years ago? Anheuser-Busch came out with a beer, a dark beer, years ago. I'm trying to think what that name was.
Red
no, it began with a Z or something.
Oh, Ziegenbach.
Budweiser. Right. It was one of them holiday things that just out of nowhere. You know, I saw during flipping through one of their magazines. You know. Going through the history of Anheuser-Busch beer before the InBev took over, you know, and
hey, Jean, what I'm gonna tell you something after you finish.
Okay. Go ahead. I was just saying, is that beer still in existence? That's all, you know.
These beers have the same UPC code. I saw that on that video. They have the same UPC code, Universal Product Code.
Right.
In other words, when the store gets the new one in, they won't have to change the tag. All they got to do is stick it on the shelf. It'll ring up. In other words, you could take either beer and put them on the shelf and they'd ring up the same. It's strange.
Okay.
Let's see about this one. Yeah, same UPC. Whoa. 018200258909. Universal Product Code. So on the computer, they're the same beer, but we know they're not.
The freshness date is on there, right? What was the born on date freshness of that beer? September, October, right? Probably.
It says best before November 23rd.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, November 22nd for mine.
Oh, so yours was made a day before mine.
That's right.
That's one thing I love about Anheuser-Busch. Freshness, quality matters.
Yeah, right. Like what? This beer just tasted really good. I mean, I don't know about you, but I like it. Now I'm gonna
rotate their stuff. That'd be great, you know.
I'm gonna do a solo video where I sit down, you know how I do with my little sports apparel on, and give it a rating. But it'll probably be the same. And then my friend David, he's gonna probably want to review it. He wanted me to go to his house tonight, but I said, well, when I was in New Orleans, I said I don't have my camera with me.
Yeah.
So
I think we could both agree that it's an excellent product and everybody should get it while they can because it's only around for a while. So That's
And
what
there's-
I'll say.
and
I think everybody should try it at least once. It's definitely worth trying.
Yeah, and it's only I don't know what all I know is. It's only $7.42 for a $7.59 over here. $7.59 for a 6-pack.
It was
Okay.
it was a little more here, but you know, I'm happy because I got it early. But I think it was like $14.69 for the 12-pack, which is really not bad for what
That's
you get.
cheaper than Monica. That's and 35 cents a 6-pack.
Yeah.
You got it cheaper.
Right. I'm saying it's a little high, but it's still cheaper than most craft beer. So I think it's definitely, you know, something that
It's at the Michelob level. They said they wanted to price it at the Michelob level. You can get a 12-pack of Budweiser for $9.99. So you got to pay more for this because they're spending more to make it.
right.
Gabe says, Jay, you couldn't find the Budweiser Freedom Reserve 6-pack of 16-ounce cans. You're right. And I looked and I could not find it, Gabe. Never did see it. Tech Ninja says, I'm going to try to send you blueberry grain belt. Blueberry grain. Jeep and Foodie says, Budweiser had an oatmeal stout called Mule Kick that I only saw on tap back around 2007. Oh, okay. Now, I remember those days. The Budweiser line came out with a bunch of draft-only craft beers, whatever you want to call them, because that word has no real meaning. And I thought they were great. Like I tried at the brewery, I tried their what was the one that had a guy with 2 boxing gloves? They called it
Who made this? What kind of beer was this?
Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch. It was Budweiser. He's talking about the Mule Kick, an oatmeal stout.
Huh.
And then they had one with the boxing gloves. It was called it was a cream stout. And I tried it at the brewery. I told my daddy, boy, this one's good. And he said, I don't think I'd want to drink that. I said, well, it's a specialty beer. You know, it's not like something you just see all the time. It was called, golly, I just had the name escape me. It was called Bare Knuckle. That was it. Bare Knuckle Cream Stout. Whoa, Bare Knuckle Stout. But they didn't. That's right when the buyout happened. So once the buyout happened, there was a lot of revamping of everything. Like they used to make a Michelob Pale Ale, a Michelob Marzen, a Michelob, all kind of Michelob craft beers, but it didn't last, John. Let's see.
You remember the Budweiser American Ale? That was kind of their first attempt at going into the craft beer. I used to be able to get that on draft. That was a good beer.
Yeah, that was in 2008.
Didn't last too long.
4 years. But when they had the buyout, they had to start kind of like buying a house that you have to renovate. And they kind of like took it down to the studs and rebuilt it. T-Man says, don't really know what this beer is about. Is it a beer with whiskey in it? No. It's a copper lager, 6.2% malt liquor type thing. That is aged with chopped up, if you want to call it that, Jim Beam barrels in it. Okay, so it's aged on the Jim Beam staves. Okay, so it's not a beer with, there's no whiskey in it at all. If any one of you had Grain Belt Blue, now I've only had Grain Belt. I thought it was better 22 years ago, honestly. Hello, Food Quick. He said he'd been sipping whiskey all afternoon.
Uh-oh, trouble.
Uh-oh.
Trouble.
He's in Canada. He said, been sipping whiskey all afternoon, and here
Now,
you are. What a nice surprise. Uh-oh.
Well, if it was in the winter, it would be okay. But, you know, the cold weather's up there, you know, but during the summer months, I don't think that'd be a good idea. You know.
Hey, Food Quick thinks it's a good idea. Jeep and Foodie says Michelob Black and Tan. Yeah, I remember that one. Bud Light Golden Wheat was a good one. I thought it was good, but other people didn't like it. Michelob Honey Lager, another good one. Michelob Beach Bum, another good one.
Watch my Bud Light Orange review. I mentioned Bud Light Golden Wheat and the list of all the, you know, efforts that Bud Light had tried to implement, you know, with you know, and I'm sure Jay, you probably unfriend me, and John probably do the same, but I didn't give a very positive outlook on Bud Light Platinum. Not only the review, but also I mentioned it not so favorably, but
the Bud Light,
yeah. So, but see the Bud Light Orange review. You'll see my thoughts on that style of beer and everything else. But
I wouldn't unfriend you. I'd probably send you a reward because I haven't even been able to force myself to drink the darn stuff. Can't buy it, so.
Yeah, I saw it. Someone gave it to me, and I said, might as well, let me try it. So, but yeah, but I just wish Anheuser-Busch, you know, like I said, but I guess maybe that is a good marketing move to keep it, you know, do these seasonal releases, you know, here and there, you know, I'm sure the 33 appeal, 1933 will probably be back on the shelf again come November, October, November, whichever, around Christmas time, and you know, that'll be definitely. I had a video. It was really good.
If you watch the video, the guy said, "Well, they might bring it back."
Yeah,
I think they'll probably try something different. I think they're kind of putting out feelers with the different beers. Like, I do think the Freedom Reserve will be back because that one is selling like crazy. And that one is similar to the Reserve, but I think it's a little bit better. So I think they might pick something different to replace the Repeal Reserve and just kind of keep going until they find the sweet spot, you know?
They don't need a sweet spot. They don't need a sweet spot. Just keep putting out new varieties and get people.
Or just keep putting out different beers. I mean, they've all been at least good so far. I think that the Repeal Reserve and the Freedom Reserve were very similar, although I do think the Freedom Reserve was a little bit better. And then this one even, I mean, it is a copper lager, but it has some similar qualities to the Freedom Reserve. To me personally, I think it's almost like if you took the Freedom Reserve lager and aged it on the bourbon barrel staves, that it's not super different than the other ones. They've all been good, but they all kind of have a little bit of common ground and consistency, base flavor.
Yeah. And why not?
6.2%. Yeah, I'm sorry. 6.2% kind of mild. I'm sorry. You're hearing some echoing. I meant on my thing. Let me turn it down.
We're about to shut it off. Anyway, they could do a rum barrel, you know, like rum, right?
Here are some pictures that match.
No, I don't have any pictures that match. Oh,
okay,
now,
sorry, guys.
Now,
I'll put rum barrel. That would be a really good one because it'd be, you know, you get a lot of sweetness from the rum, and you've had the Innocent Gun. I mean, the rum aged Innocent Gun you like, so I think Budweiser would do well with a rum aged product.
Why not? Okay, I'm going to read the last few comments. Michelob had an amber box that says Tech Ninja. Well, I just saw amber box this morning. I almost bought some. Gabe, they still have it. Gabe says in website Total Wine Albuquerque, New Mexico says there's a 6-pack of 16-ounce cans. Of what? This? They say it's not going to be sold in cans, so I don't know what you're looking at.
I didn't realize.
Every state is different.
in cans either. I never saw it in the cans, but
me either.
Jeep and Foodie says regular Michelob is still their greatest brew, but they don't tout it. You got that right. Once you try craft beer, once you try craft beer, the macros become much harder to drink, says T-Man. I never really noticed that problem. Okay, he says, that sounds like the Boston Beer Company approach, laugh out loud. It seems to have had mixed results for them. Yeah, well, you see, because back on. See, Boston Beer Company doesn't have Busch and Natural Light and Bud Light and Natural Ice. You know what I mean? They got Boston Beer. They got Samuel Adams and Sam Adams Light. And so if they put out something that bombs, they got problems, you know? And they just keep putting out one new thing after the other. I think one mistake they make is they put out these variety packs, and then it might only be half new stuff. Like it'd be the same old Samuel Adams Boston Lager, and then this other stuff they've had before. And you're like, I don't really want to pay $16.49 to get 3 new beers. You know, that's my attitude. I don't want to pay all that money to get 3 new beers. I might buy a single, right?
What did Maria, our friend Maria Devine, just say? The Baskin Robbins of beers, Boston, Sam Adams, Boston Beer Company.
Oh, yeah. I remember she said that.
Yeah, but those variety packs, you know, I mean, they're interesting enough, and you always know they're going to put their signature beers, you know, obviously the Boston Lager, but it's good to try different things. They got a summer variety pack, and they come out spring, whatever, and then, of course, the fall variety pack and the winter one. But, you know, I mean, it's good to try new stuff, but usually you go back to what you're familiar with. And, you know, I bought that 12 pack of stuff, and I've always gone back to the lager, Boston Lager. So,
I like it. Now I'm gonna read the last few comments, and then that's it. Tech Ninja says, I like craft beer, but it's hard to beat the price of hams or Busch lattes. Okay, Food Quick says, my favorite beer of all time was Top Bar Svetli Liziak from Slovakia. Haven't been able to get it since SAB Miller brought out Top Bar in 2007. Oh, are you talking about the Golden Pheasant? Yeah, I thought Golden Pheasant was dynamite. I haven't seen it around. The macros do cost less, but with the price decrease comes a decrease of quality. Oftentimes, that is true. Many times, though, it is not true. I was drinking some Modelo Negra today. Man, that stuff is no drop in quality. No way. No way. In my opinion, no way it's a drop in quality.
I agree. It's not. And I'm about to have some liver with some rice, and Negra Modelo will go well with that meal.
Oh, yeah. Modelo Negra.
Negra Modelo, yeah. Negra Modelo, or Modelo Negra.
Modelo. The Freedom Reserve Budweiser, the Bud Light Golden Wheat was good. Latte means cans. Oh, Lats means cans. Okay. Busch Lats means Busch Light. Oh, I'm a simple person. All right. Lloyd Campbell says, I wish more breweries would focus on some high gravity beers. Well, they got a lot of them that focus on some pretty strong beers. I drank a pomegranate beer this morning that was 8% alcohol from Juventa. All right.
I saw the Andy Gator today. I should have picked it up and done a rehash of it, but I said, no, I might get in trouble. So,
hey. Right. Hey, Doppelbox is coming up. I believe that's
next Friday on Tyler's channel.
Right. Friday on Tyler Mansell's channel.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. And Eric said something about St. Bernardus beers, but I went to the store today and I looked at those prices and I said to myself, I might have to skip that hangout. Those prices are just too high. And I've had St. Bernardus before and I like them. They're dynamite.
Really? The prices are comparable to the Chimay here. Are they not? Are they more expensive than Chimay products there?
No, but I don't really feel like paying $5 for a bottle of beer, you know.
Yeah, but for a world class, we're talking like 99, 100 out of 100 here.
I know, but I've been to the mountaintop already. Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna call you back. I'm doing a hangout. I'm gonna call you back in just a minute. All right, bye. So I mean, I've been to the mountaintop. I don't have to keep going back. I like Abbey 12 and the Abbey Ale and the wheat beer and the Chimay Red and the Chimay Blue and the Chimay White and the Chimay Doré. But I mean, golly gee, I don't want to run out and spend $5 on a bottle of beer every time somebody wants to do an examination. And I'm not trying to be negative, right?
I mean, you know, it's people. Yeah, I get it.
It's money, you know. It's money, people. All right. And I was standing in front of all of these varieties today. Could have bought them, but I didn't. I just didn't. Try Sam Adams Utopia is at a 22%. No, thanks.
I would like to, but I cannot get them.
I can and I won't. Oh, crap. Those numbers are all they say they are. Hello, Mr. T, says Lawrence. Hello to you, Lawrence. We're about to get off of this. The party's over. You got here at the end of the party. The man is already sweeping up the room. Lloyd Campbell says, Blue Moon gets good reviews. It sucks. Well, you know, some Blue Moon beers are really dynamite. I saw their pumpkin beer today. That's not a bad. Abbey Ale is great. They make a lot of good beers. So I would not agree with that statement. I don't like the regular Blue Moon too much, but it's really not bad.
For the style, it's pretty dang good, though, but I don't really care for the style. But, yeah, that Harvest Moon, like, that one's dynamite. I used to get that one on draft at Mellow Mushroom back when I lived in Alabama. That was one of my favorite draft beers of all time. It's good stuff.
What is it?
The Harvest Moon, the Blue Moon.
Yeah. Food Quick says, nope, never heard of Golden Pheasant, but I might like it. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't speak Slovak. But I knew that was the one I knew from Slovakia, the Golden Pheasant. It was really good. Except one time I got an old bottle and it was really old tasting. My email alert must be on delay. Good to see y'all, says Lawrence. Good to see you. And Gabe says he used $200, a 25 ounce. Wow, what a great deal. Any last comments? Have a great night, fellas. Thanks for hanging out and chat. You too, T-Man. And I'm about to go lie down in my bed and watch baseball. True story.
My last comment would be to keep an eye out for it. If you can't already get it, look for it in September, and it's definitely worth picking up.
I totally agree, John and Jay. I gave positive reviews for the Freedom Reserve as well as the 1933. I'm sure this copper lager will be just as good. So I look forward to trying it and reviewing it whenever I can get it. So
I'll watch your video. You know, I watch everybody's videos. You know, except for really only like trying to think. I think there's really only like one person I don't watch his reviews.
Does this person act kind of silly from time to time?
He just goes on for like 55 minutes, and the beer he talks about he might talk about it for 5 minutes. And I'm like, well, I mean, he might be a wonderful person, but I'm just watching it. This was years ago, seemed like 10 years ago, and I was like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to do all this, you know. I mean, we talk and joke around too. I mean, I'm not saying it, but it's like it's a beer review that's not about the beer, you know. Like, that's it. I don't watch it, but everybody else, I watch everybody else.
Yeah. Today we'll talk about political stuff, but we'll talk maybe 5 minutes about beer.
No, well, I mean, call it. Yeah, well, then call it a political video.
Yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen, and good
Yes.
night. Food Quick, good job. Thanks, and we're getting off of here. Thanks, we appreciate it. So, would I recommend the Budweiser Copper Lager? Oh yeah. Now, Eric did a video called "The 4 Type of Beer Reviewers," so I'll be curious to see what he's saying in that. I'm not sure what he means, but I'll be curious to watch it.
Is it the 4 types of beer reviewers or 4 types of beer styles or something? I thought it was.
I thought he was saying the 4 types of beer reviewers.
Which that would make more sense.
4 types of people that do beer reviews. So I'll be curious to see what he's saying. Lloyd says, oh, we're going to shut the party down at only 9 o'clock Eastern because that's what Budweiser party animals do. Actually, if you watch the video I was watching, they said they really plan to focus on people that kick the party off around 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's not me. That's my bedtime usually.
Because you are not a Budweiser Copper Lager man. You are not a Budweiser Jim Beam man. They're actually trying to target the, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to target the spirit drinkers. Which I don't know how successful that's going to be.
I mean, you saw the Wheel of Fortune and the I guess the Black Crown and the
right
Sapphire by Beck's, but I guess that didn't turn out well for either because I very rarely see this Fortune and definitely don't see much of the Beck's Sapphire.
No, they're all gone now.
Yeah.
Gone. Hey, how many Jim Beam drinkers stop? Not that they want them to stop drinking Jim Beam. They just want them to start drinking Budweiser Copper Lager. And I don't know how many Jim Beam drinkers are going to say, oh, now I want to start drinking Budweiser Copper Lager. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lloyd
Probably
says,
not.
Probably not. All right, well, enough blab. I'm going to make a solo review later, probably in a few days. And then I'm going to do a duo review, I hope, with David. Mistake today. I was supposed to be calling David, and I accidentally called Swillengrog. And as soon as he answered, it was like a recording. I'm not able to take your call right now. And I was like, oh, no, that's Australian. I hurried up and hung up. I'm going to get some kind of crazy charge for international call. I swear that call lasted 1 or 2 seconds. I hope
I really enjoyed it. He was fun. You and him doing reviews, they were a lot of fun. The two of y'all.
But I tried to call him in New Orleans. When he was in New Orleans, I called him to say, look, I'm outside the hotel and all that. I didn't talk long with him on the phone. $24. I got charged $24 for international calls, and I was calling him, and he was inside the hotel.
Holy moly.
Because the call was going from me to Australia and from Australia back to the hotel, and he was answering it. Now, is that crazy? I thought we lived in the internet world. That sounded like the old world.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound like the modern world to you?
No.
$24 for that little call. So I dread to see what's going to happen with that little mistake. Well, I took him off of my memory, you know, like my contacts, because I said, well, I don't want to accidentally call Australia again. I know that much. All right, guys. Y'all take care now.
It's been fun.
Been fun.
Yeah.
We'll do it again. Thanks for joining, John and Neil.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How many you got left?
I have got 2 left out of the 12-pack. I'm saving one for a Freedom Reserve Copper Lager face-off, and then I've got one other.
Oh, okay. All right. We all take care now.